Hey guys, Kevin here. I'm back with another battery charger, another power bank. This is one from AUKEY. I think that's how you call it. AUKEY, so I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it or not. It is a 20,000 milliamp power bank, so it's quite a big capacity one. And as you can see here, it has eco-friendly packaging. Nothing on the back, apart from some "don't eat the battery" type stickers. So this has got quite a few features. It's got two USB ports. It's got a torch, which seems to be standard among these larger capacity power banks. But I think one of the biggest selling points is the fact that it's got a lightning port, and I think that's something that's going to be interesting. And you can see in the box here, you've got a little message saying thank you and asking you to leave some feedback. We have a little warranty registration card. So, yep, you get 18 months of warranty, and if you register, you get another 6 months to take up to 2 years. There's a user manual here, a little short user manual. As I'm in Europe, there's lots of different languages, and 5 pages of information is basically what you're looking at. English, German, French, Spanish, Italian and Chinese. And here we have the power bank itself. And if you can see in there, there's a little cable hiding in there. Okay, and that is the cable you get. Cable looks like one on the short side to me. According to Amazon, it's 20 centimeters. So, first things first. Let's see. I'll do the weighing first. Let's see how this thing weighs. So, 390 grams. So just below 0.4 kilos. And I don't have another 20,000 milliamp capacity battery charger, but I do have this RAV Power. This is 16,000 milliamps. And this one weighs 318 by the looks of it. So really, I mean, the weight to capacity ratio seems pretty standard between these two, because you know that this one's 80% lighter, but you're getting around 80% of the capacity, so no complaints there. As far as the design goes, it's quite minimal. I mean, it's got the AUKEY logo there. You've got a power button there. It's lighting up green, and you can see here, it says here that if it's at 30% capacity, the red light will flash. It's green between 30% and 70%, and it's white between 70 and 100. So these are the ports here. If you hold the power button, you will see torch coming on. Now, I'm not sure if this is coming across, but the light is quite a yellow kind of light. And if I use this one, this is more of a kind of blue light. The one in this one seems more blue. I don't think anyone buys a power bank for the torch, but it is a nice little feature to have. Now, there's two USB ports. Now, both of these are 2.4 milliamps. Now, you can charge any device, a tablet, a smartphone, up to 2.4 milliamps, but the total current that can be drawn is 3.4 milliamps. So if one was at full capacity at 2.4 amps, the other one would be reduced to 1 amp. I'm not sure how it works if you have two, for example, iPads charging. I expect it starts managing them and puts 1.7 to each one. Still a really good charge at that, so I don't think that would be a problem. It's got a micro USB connection there, and it's got a lightning port. Now, this lightning port is, for me, this is the best selling point of this. With every single battery charge, with every power bank, they all get powered with a micro B USB cable. So what you do is this: you plug it in like this, you get your cable, you plug this into an adapter, and you plug it into the wall. you charge this up to full capacity. Then what you do is, when you want to charge your phone, you turn that around, turn the cable around, you plug it in, and then you hook it up like that to your phone, you charge it. And with 20,000 milliamps, it's going to charge your phone quite a few times. Now, you know, with battery packs, you're never going to get the full capacity just because that's the nature of batteries. You know, if you get about 75%, 80%, you're probably doing okay. But if you go by their specifications at 20,000 milliamps, this one's about 3,500. So what do you get there? 3, 7, 14, about 5 or 6 charges probably. Like if you take away the, I think 5 charges is probably realistic, considering that you always kind of lose a little bit. Now, as I said, I'm going a little bit off topic there, but as I said about this cable here, what I said there about charging is 100% true. And as far as charging your phone, I'm making the assumption that everyone watching this has got an Android phone. But Apple users are not so lucky. All the power banks have this micro USB cable. But in order to charge the power bank and to charge the phone, they need to carry 2 cables. They need to carry a micro USB for charging the power bank, and they need to carry a lightning cable in order to charge their iPad or their iPhone. But because they have this lightning port here, what that means is if you're an Apple user, you only need to take 1 cable with you. You can charge it using your lightning port and then turn it around just like I did there and charge it using the USB part. Now, I'm an Android user primarily. I do have an iMac and I used to have an iPad and things, but I don't have an Apple phone at the moment. I did in the past, but that's by the by. But if I had an Apple phone or an Apple iPad, this would be a godsend because it means I only have to take 1 cable with me in my bag. That is, for me, I think that's one of the best selling things about this. Now, from a design point of view, I'll be honest, like in comparison to the RAV Power, I think it feels a little cheap. Not in a bad way. Well, I guess it's a bad way if I'm saying it feels cheap. But what I'm going to say is this: when you're using this RAV Power, it's all the edges are smooth. You know, it's all, and it is a little bit of a superficial thing, but it feels great and it feels like a premium product. This one, it's a little bit more boxy, and it's, you know, all the edges are sharp. So I think from a design point of view, there are better alternatives out there. But it's not something that should really be at the top of your list as far as priorities go, as far as buying a power bank, because at the end of the day, this is just a brick that you throw in your bag and then you charge your tablets or your phones with. As far as it having smooth edges, you know, I think this is nicer for having smooth edges, but it's not a deal breaker. Another thing though, I do think, is that they've been a little bit stingy. Firstly, I think they've been stingy with the cable being so short. I realise that some people want that because they want a short cable to make it more portable. But really, I mean, with the size of this battery pack, they really could have made a bigger cable. But as you can see here, they've not given you anything else. They don't have a pouch. Like the other 2 chargers I've had, and all the other ones that I've seen, they all give you these pouches to carry in, and this one doesn't have it. The RAV Power came with 2 USB cables, and these ones, they're long. They'll be longer than this. You can see there. Well, that's 2 cables. Oh, that's 1. Like you can see, you've got 1 really long cable and 1 really short cable. And admittedly, these aren't the best cables because when they bend, the connection kind of stops. But throwing in a pouch and throwing in a cable is something that all manufacturers are doing, and AUKEY hasn't done that. I think for the price of this retails at £27.99 in the UK and $29.99 in the USA. So I think by not including a pouch and perhaps another cable, I think they've missed a step there. Now, as far as what cables they include, I think what they could do is perhaps have 2 packages. They could have an Android package where, you know, they've got this cable and then a longer Android cable, and then an Apple package where they get this cable for charging, and then in fact they wouldn't need that obviously because of the lightning port. You could just have 2 Apple cables, or 1 Apple and 1 Android cable, or perhaps just have it standard across the board. I just do think that for the price that you're paying, you're not getting enough in the box. But again, these are all little things. I think the biggest thing is really whether this works. So time to test it out. I think what we need to do first, what I'll do is I'll test the battery with a separate cable first, and then we'll test the cable. So let's let me see. Get this here. So this is a USB type cable from Google, so it should be the fastest cable that I've got for charging my phone. And let me see here. Let's see what current's going. Let's see what battery I've got. I've got 75% battery, so it won't be the quickest at charging. It does most of its quick charging at the start, but I'm getting around 1.3 amps. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of go backwards and test. No, in fact, I'll test that cable, and I'll put in the. Here we go. I've got this little Type C converter, so we're getting 1.35 amps there with the official Google Type C cable. Now what I'm going to do now, this is the cable that came with the AUKEY one, and see how this goes. .35 before. Yeah, we see, well, it's jumping around a lot. Yeah, it seems to be okay. We're getting 1.34 amps, and it's going at 5 volts. Now, if you don't know much about these kind of battery packs, you shouldn't be expecting 2.4 amps with a smartphone. What smartphones do like this is they give you really quick charging at the start, so they'll take a high current, but then it slows down. And the reason to do that is it's a kind of compromise between prolonging your battery over years, but also providing a quick charge. So if this was at 0%, I probably should have seen a higher current being drawn. But what I'm going to quickly do now is get some measurements, I think. Okay, so we've got here, it's about 14.5 centimeters, and I'll turn this around because I'll get a better, which is about 5 3/4 inches roughly. The width is about 8.1 centimeters, and that seems to be, what's that, 3 1/4 inches, and the thickness is 2 centimeters on the button, which is about 3/4 of an inch. Now, I apologise, I only have this one to compare it to, but as far as thickness goes, you can see the difference in thickness here. There's basically nothing between them. If you can see it there, there's really nothing between as far as the thickness goes. The main difference really, I would say, is the length. You know, I say this one was 8.1 centimeters. This one is, it's just about 8.1 as well. So really, you've got, this one is 8% smaller capacity, weight and length. So when you add on additional size, you get more capacity. That's what's to be expected. So, quick summary of it. Cable seems fine. This is just an unboxing. It's an first impressions video, so I haven't did a lot of tests as far as charging this. I've not even charged it fully yet, but it did seem to charge okay. My initial thoughts about it are this. Let me see. I mean, it weighs what you would expect it to weigh. This isn't something you put in your back pocket. This is something you put in your bag, perhaps even too heavy for a handbag, but you know, certainly a backpack, something you're going to be taking with your tablet, perhaps going on a plane, on a train. You charge your phone multiple times. This is useful to have. It's heavy, but that's what it's designed to do. It's designed to be put in your bag and carry and power a lot of devices. I do think the design, I don't know if cheap is the right word, but I do think that, you know, there are alternatives. I mean, if you look at this one, it's all smooth, and you know, it's easy for me to do that because it's all kind of smooth. This one's a bit more, it feels more like a hard drive. And even like, you know, with smaller devices, this is another company, Anker, it's all smooth and round. It feels nice. It actually feels like a hard drive enclosure. That's what it feels like, you know. So design, I don't think is the best. I think they've been stingy with not including a pouch and with only including one cable. I think for the price you're paying, they can at least throw in a cheap little pouch and a second cable. I think that's what they should be doing. Perhaps even one iPhone cable, one Android cable, that kind of thing. They're not essential, but I think these little things, you know, when the market is so competitive, you know, when there's so many different battery packs, power banks and all that in the market, there's lots of companies offering these things, and really there's not a huge difference in price between them. So really, you kind of need to nitpick. If you're looking at for the best solution, design is one thing you'll maybe look at, because if the capacities are the same and the price is the same, customers are going to start looking at design and they're going to start looking at accessories. And I think this is where AUKEY has perhaps failed a little bit. Hopefully in the future, if they're going to change this in the future, I think what they need to do is throw in a pouch, throw in another cable, and perhaps improve the design of this case, because this thing's lethal. It's like a brick. Hopefully I'll be able to test this a little bit more and give you some feedback in the comment area as to how it performs over time. But again, this is a first impressions video. That is not something I can comment on just now. I hope you found this video useful, guys. You can find out more about this on Amazon or on AUKEY's website. I'll put all the information there, but you should be able to see their website address there, AUKEY.com. I need to thank AUKEY for sending me this for review. They were very kind enough to send this to me. And I think it will be a good charger, but I do think, from what I've seen the other battery packs, I think that the design is not the best. But that shouldn't be really a big problem. At the end of the day, this is a brick, it's a power bank. Hopefully, if they improve this in the future, they'll address those issues. But I'm kind of babbling on now, so please do leave a comment below if you've got a question about this. Please do subscribe to the channel, and if you've enjoyed the video, please do consider liking or sharing. If you get any questions, leave a comment below. I'll do my best to answer them, and until next time, thanks for watching.